everybody, welcome to our channel. We're still trying to get this thing off and running. It's been a project of ours we've wanted to do this for a couple of years, but anyway, we're finally doing it. So we thought we would kind of do a video on one of our most recent trips. We went out to Fort Davis, and this video is kind of geared towards people in the DFW Metroplex because it's really not that far to drive out there. And a lot of people don't even realize it exists, that we have mountains in Texas. We used to live in West Texas, which was just a few hours down the road from this area, the Big Bend area, and we never did make it out there, living out there as long as we did. So this video is kind of geared more towards people that live in this area, letting them know, hey, there's other options than, Colorado or Ruidoso to go to the mountains and experience Texas. So anyway, we left here end of July. We get out there and the temperature is just fantastic. I'm talking 50s in the morning and 80s during the day. So it was pretty nice.
On our way to the Davis Mountains, we stayed over at Colorado City State Park. It was a really nice state park, off the beaten path, very quiet, very dark. It broke up the trip really well. How long did it take us to get to Colorado City?
2.5 hours, maybe. Yeah, 3 hours at the most.
Wasn't far. And the drive from Colorado City to Davis Mountains was pretty easy as well. How much further is that?
I think total it's about 400 miles from here. The drive isn't bad. It's generally just interstate driving all the way until you get to Pecos. But yeah, it's not a bad drive at all. 20 pretty much the whole way till you get to Pecos. And then the last 50 miles is just absolutely breathtaking, to be honest with you. Coming from somebody that loves driving in the mountains and enjoys just getting and looking at scenery, this is a really cool, last 50 miles. We travel through Balmorhea, which is a state park there. Really cool. We didn't get to stop there. You have to make reservations pretty far in advance for it. Decided to stay at the state park there in Fort Davis. It's about 4 miles west of town.
While we were there, we did a day trip over to Alpine. We had never been to Alpine before, heard a lot about it. It wasn't very far from Fort Davis. It was a nice little charming town, very art driven, lots of murals everywhere. We stopped in at a little coffee shop. I don't even remember the name of it now. We can look it up. But it was really good. It was on the very back of a local bookstore. We went in the bookstore. It was really neat. They had a lot of literature about the area and Texas in general, which was nice. Our son, Rhett, over here, he got to buy a new book while we were there as well. And we drove around Sul Ross University because we knew it was there, but had never visited. Really cool little campus.
The campus is beautiful too. It's up on the hill there on the east side of town, and just really pretty architecture. If you're going to the area, most of the people will try to fit in a trip to the McDonald Observatory. They have the second largest telescope in the world, and number one belongs to Chile, I believe. And so we'd made reservations several weeks ahead of time for the star party. It is something that people look forward to for a long time to go out there. I know I've read about people saying it's on their bucket list. So we did that. We bought tickets, and it's about $20 or $25 a person. The children get a little bit of a discount. I think it's maybe $20 for kids and $25 for adults, if I remember. And they've got a big outdoor area where you gather, and they start talking about the events of the night, and they're supposed to allow you to see out a couple of the telescopes there, but unfortunately it was cloudy. We didn't get to see it.
It was a bummer.
Yeah, so we
were pretty disappointed.
They decided to have a plan B and do like a indoor star party, which we weren't too excited about.
We could do that online anytime.
Yeah, so we decided to shop the gift shop and get a refund. They will give you a refund if it's cloudy and you don't get to do the telescopes, and then that way you can come back another time. But yeah, it was really neat to just drive up there.
It's pretty.
Really pretty drive.
Okay. We did a day trip to Marathon. Um, I had done some research, received some, brochures and whatnot from the tourist center in Alpine, which is a great place to stop, by the way. They had lots of information, maps, very helpful and informative. Um, but we drove over there. We ate at a barbecue place. Wasn't that great?
No, it wasn't.
The Gage Hotel is there, which is a historic stop, and it was really cool. It was really pretty, but I mean, that's it. That's all that was there. I fully expected there to be shops. There was a couple, but they were all run by the hotel. So I'm pretty sure we skip that on the next trip, unless you're just on your way to the Big Bend National Park. National Park, yeah, National Park. Then there's no reason to go, honestly.
No,
unfortunately,
it wasn't that great. We expected to have more like stuff to go through as far as souvenirs and everybody wants to buy a T-shirt somewhere. So
I love T-shirts. It's my favorite.
Fort Davis is kind of like that downtown. I'll put some pictures up here in just a second, videos of downtown Fort Davis, and a lot of the stuff is closed down. Like there's several really nice business locations that are just closed. The hotels, both hotels have restaurants, and that's about all that's open that's right downtown. They've got a beautiful courthouse across the street, and we walk the dog out there, and it's a really walkable town.
Hotel Olympia is one of the hotels that's in Fort Davis, and then they have a restaurant that's attached to it. They also have a coffee shop that's attached to all of that as well. It was closed
the whole time we were there.
The whole time we were there. We were kind of bummed about that because we are coffee lovers. But yeah, like Joe said, there's no souvenirs. Not in Fort Davis, not in Marathon, not in Alpine. We find that kind of odd because most places you go, everybody's got a T-shirt or something. So that was a little disappointing. To the Fort Davis National Historic Site, right in Fort Davis, one morning.
Yeah, our 8-year-old boy really enjoyed that kind of stuff. And sometimes you wonder, how interested they're going to be in something like that. But he really just took a keen eye into like the old historic buildings and asking questions. And like, so if you've got kids about that age and are wondering whether you should take them or not, definitely take them. He enjoyed it a lot.
And also something to note that you will have to walk around the whole fort on your own. It's like rocky gravel-ish stuff, but you're walking through old buildings. Some of them are half standing, and you can't really go into those. But the other ones that have been restored, you're able to go in them. So we were there in July. In Fort Davis, I don't know, it was like 75 degrees, 78.
Yeah, because we went in the morning. It is.
And it was still pretty warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would just say be prepared. But it was really neat to see how they lived and even how the buildings were constructed back then. And they even had, the bugler music playing on this loudspeakers while you're walking around out there. And they had some horses that were just roaming around, so that was neat.
We just kind of wanted to share this part of Texas with fellow motorhomers and RVers that are always looking for maybe a place to go cool off in the summertime and maybe want to skip going to the water park because it's still hot wherever you go. This is a really nice change of scenery. It's not densely populated, so if you're like me, that's a good thing. The whole town of Alpine, I think, is 5,000 people. Brewster County, it's the largest county in Texas, but also the least populated. Anyway, so yeah, you've got a 4-year university there, and it's like 5,000 to 6,000 people population. Fort Davis is much less. You'll like the serenity and the peacefulness and the darkness. It's designated one of the dark skies.
It was beautiful. The things that I truly enjoyed is every time we go on a motorhome trip somewhere in the mountains or off the beaten path that's not like in a city, I always want to see wildlife. Always.
Mm.
Well, we went to Davis Mountains and I really didn't know what to expect. I honestly expected desert mountains. And I was pleasantly surprised when we got there that it was green and mixed with rocks and things like that. And of course, they had had a really, really wet spring and summer. So it was a little more green than typical.
Mm-hmm.
But we actually saw a tremendous amount of wildlife.
Mm-hmm.
These
mountain
goats that apparently were transplanted into the area from some in Africa,
mm-hmm.
and they kind of decided to take over the land. So they're out there. That's hundreds of them. So that was neat. There are also a lot of javelina, wild hogs, and beautiful birds and things that it's just nice to enjoy nature and see something different. So the sky, the wildlife, and the ability to be unplugged for a while from everything else was great.
Yeah, so don't pick this campground or area if you're going to need to work remotely, because if so, you'll have to have Starlink for sure.
Or drive into town every time you need to work.
Yeah. We'd go about 2.5 miles down the road, down the mountain, and you'd start getting service again. So,
for sure.
But yeah, if you have Starlink, of course, you aren't going to have any problems because the campsites are set up in a way that you can always get, a clear view of the sky. But we stayed in site number 11. I've got a video that I'll link to this as well of just the site. We looked at all of them, and I think we probably lucked out with the best one. There's so much room, and the way that they set them up as far as pull-throughs, you don't have anybody right there next to you, so that was really nice. And you've got a lot of room, and it's what was there, 15 maybe 20 on the loop that we were on, so there's not a lot of people in there anyway.
And you're not stacked right next to each other. If you look at the map, it's like kind of one behind the other.
Yeah.
And our 40-foot motorhome fit fine.
Yeah. So, whenever I checked in, the lady's like, "Yeah, I don't think that your motorhome will fit in that spot." And I said, "Well, I'm pretty sure it will. If I have any problems, I'll come back and see you." But I had enough room to put the Jeep in front or behind it. So this place, 60 feet easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. The trip out to Fort Davis, we highly recommend you fellow RVers, and even if you tent camp, perfect at night because it cools off into the 50s. That's perfect tent camping weather.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, check it out before you take your next trip to Colorado or to northern New Mexico, you fellow Texans. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised like we were. So thanks for watching. And if you have any questions, just give us a shout, comment below, and we'll be sure to answer them.